Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Tuesday night, so that means it's time for Hey Bale and Friends and the Homesteading Bootcamp. I am Cayce over here at Ormsby Farms.
And I'm Monica at Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
And this is Sandi with Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona.
Y'all, I cannot believe we are getting so close to the end of this 12-week boot camp. We were looking at the topics right before we went live, and we were like, oh, we only have 2 more weeks before our big giveaway, y'all. And as you notice, Anna's not here tonight. She is having some much-needed family time, so please send out prayers for her and Worth. I know she would appreciate it. So, anyways, tonight we are talking about fertilizer, soil, and how to get your fertilizer good for your garden. I have actually been really good. And I told Sandi before the show, and I'm telling Monica now on the live show, that I've actually done my homework and wrote stuff down. And like, oh, look at me.
I love it.
But before we get into all of that, Sandi, would you do the honors of saying hello to everyone that is in the chat?
I will. Well, Troy, hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad that you're here. Lori's World, welcome. It's nice to see you. Rebecca, Touch by Yarn. Good evening, everyone, she says. Heather, hello. How are you tonight?
There she is.
Hey, Anne, how are you? I'm so glad you're here. And Ginger is here. Yay, 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 yay. How are ya? Rita, hello. Good evening. Thanks for coming in tonight. And Tamara is here. Now, Tamara is very lucky on our podcast, our nights. She wins a lot. Yes. I like it.
I think her name's in. Is it 3 times? I think so. What?
But I know she's won. Yeah. And Lynn, how are you? Yes, we're live. It's fabulous. And Cynthia Delot, all the way from the Netherlands. Yes. Hello.
Hello. And if I missed you, y'all know it's not intentional. It's because when chat comes up, it all looks crazy and I don't click on the right one. But fertilizer. Okay. So I'm going to jump to Monica because I know that Monica, this is like her favorite topic ever.
So mean.
No, but you do compost. Huh? So it's like, so like what, when you think of starting your compost, what do you have like a plan before you, or do you just like toss everything there?
So our compost is basically Eric strong arming us into taking all the scraps that we have in our house and throwing it into a big pile. And then he throws all the poop and stuff from the pasture. I'm just going to be real. It's all poop. Okay. Manure, poop, whatever. Same thing. Takes all the poop from all the animals, throws it in there. And then we put all the like scrapped hay and like extra stuff. We don't have a lot of trees that give off leaves. If we had tree leaves, we would do that too. But we just throw everything into a big bin and then we just let it sit for like the whole year. And then he comes out with a tractor and lifts it up and then he delivers it to my garden. And then usually by then I'm complaining that it's not like it's too hot, it's this, it's that, or it's too late and we can't put it in our garden because I keep thinking all those things like the CPK, TMZ, whatever it is, ABCDFGs that I have to pay attention to. And I don't know. And you guys all know about potash, whatever it is. And all I know
NKP.
is NKKP, all that. All I know is I'm going to throw rabbit poop right around my trees, throw it straight into my garden because it's not going to hurt nothing. And I'm going to throw all that beautiful black soil that Eric has built for me every single year in my garden and pray. So that's my compost. That is my fertilizing.
Well, can I just say, since you did joke about it, that let me just clear the air on why I called it potash the very first time. Because think about it on my side. I was brand new. And if it was going to be potash, wouldn't it be POT-ASH instead
of what?
Word? So I was like, you know what? They're trying to be fancy. It's some potash.
Yeah, potash. But I will say too, I am good. And I do also in the winter time, whenever we have a wood burning stove and we're very particular about the wood we burn. And anytime we dump that ash, my kids, Eric, they will take it my garden. It's usually, just sitting there by then, and they will dump it into an area and they'll make different piles. And then we'll go in there and kind of spread it around a little bit. So that does get dumped in there too, because they ain't walking all the way to the compost bin in the pasture. So I do have, wood burned ash and stuff in there too. So I have a conglomeration of things, and it seems to work for the most part. But all the things that you guys know, that all just goes right over my brain. There's no room for that. The traffic in my brain is too thick.
Let me tell you, Brenda, it will not. After tonight, everybody who's in the room, we are going to make it so simple for you to know what you need.
Okay.
And the letter alphabet is NPK, as Sandi was saying. N is your nitrogen, P is your phosphorus, K is your potassium.
Okay.
So, like, when I put my new garden in, and Destiny's agreeing in the background, if you can't hear her, she's agreeing that that is the correct terminology, is I like to use a 10, 10, 10. So, like in my videos, when I talk about 10, 10, 10, Monica makes fun of me on this. A 10, 10, 10 or a 5, 4, 5, it's 10. Would it be percent, right? No. Is it percent, Sandi? Correct me.
How you gonna try to start talking, but you don't even know? Like,
all I know is what I need to do to get to that NPK.
You're like, I'm gonna do this, but wait, is it?
No,
wait,
I
what
didn't know that it's like
what
a
does Cayce stand
percentage
for?
or a poundage, because I know on some things
Potash.
the potash, my potash.
Yeah, K is potash.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that potassium?
No, that's NK. That's K.
K is potassium.
Mm-hmm.
K is potassium. Why is K potassium?
I don't know.
There's no reasonable answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is. I just don't know that.
You just have to memorize it like your times tables. Okay. And then the P is for potash. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, we're talking about a lot of poop tonight.
Yeah,
Tamara.
we are.
A lot of poop, Tamara.
But with nitrogen, chicken poop, like when you clean out the chicken runs, your chicken coops, your chicken bedding, nitrogen. I learned at the very beginning coffee, because wait, are you all coffee drinkers? I don't think I ever really knew. Neither one
Eric
of you are.
is. I ain't drinking iced coffee every now and then, but Eric drinks coffee, and so does Abigail.
And is a coffee drinker with me, so I have a lot of coffee grinds that I use up. That goes in there. You know what drives me crazy, especially when I mow the grass, which I don't do it much because I don't like it, is when people don't have the bag that attaches the grass to it. So you have like little piles or streaks of like the grass. That drives me absolutely insane. So I put that in my compost because that's an N too. That's going to be your nitrogen.
Okay.
So I put that in there. I put the coffee grinds. I told Sandi when I was doing my research before for my pea, because I really didn't know a lot of peas to put in to my compost to bring that level up. Phosphorus, correct, is wholemeal. And one thing that I learned at the very beginning is, when we're done making chicken broth and you have those wilty, powdery-ish, mushy bones, them go right in my compost for the pea.
Okay.
That's a PP and a P, yeah? And then K, of course, is the bananas. I put banana peels in there. It's a good way to do it. But what I'm putting it to Sandi on, because I did not write this down on my notes, is the reason for the NPK, yeah? Because we all know that the nitrogen makes the plant have a bushier, more green look. P is to get more flowers on your plant. And K is for the health, right, Sandi?
Well,
I feel like she's taught us this before, and I just didn't listen well enough.
So do I, yeah.
Okay. I think we have to go back a little bit.
Yes, please break it down.
Okay.
Rewind us back.
Okay. First of all, Jennifer Ocean said that that K is on the periodic table, and
makes sense.
That's why it's K.
There you go. Boom.
You can't just add stuff to your soil. You need a soil test.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the idea that you're going to just, oh, somebody told me to put NKP on there, I'm dumping NKP on there.
Yeah.
That is not a good idea.
That's why I don't listen to anybody and do it.
You need to, that $25 investment on getting a soil test will help you so much in the long run. Because why would you be putting something that had a lot of nitrogen on when maybe your soil already has a whole bunch of nitrogen? Because this is what will happen. And it won't happen the first couple of years. But you're just continue just putting that nitrogen on. And then one summer, everything's grown beautiful. The leaves are beautiful. And about mid-July, everything starts to die. You have made your soil toxic. So because you have put too much nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in there. You can't just, it was about in the 20s or 40s when I can't remember his name. He came up with what was perfect for soil, NKP. And so people embraced it. And I'm not saying not to use it, but you need to soil test first to know what you need. So if your soil is lacking in an area, that's what you really need to just really add to your soil.
Do you recommend testing every year or just testing every couple years?
Every 2 or 3 years is probably a good idea.
Okay.
Say you had too much of something in your soil.
Mm-hmm.
That fall, when your soil's done, I would really just water the heck out of your garden and have it leach out some. And then I would test again in the springtime. Now, how do you do a soil test?
You
do the My Soil, which is what we did.
So we were affiliates for My Soil at I think it was the first season of the podcast. Huh?
Yeah, I did a double test. I tested in 2 different areas of my garden. I loved it. I did great.
I really enjoyed it because it was like dummy proof.
Very easy. It was like $30 for a test, and it was very easy to do.
Okay. Did you just dig a hole, get your 2 cups, send it off, or what did you do?
So I think you had to dig a certain depth, but you had to do soil from like several areas in a certain area. Yeah, I think it was like, so you had like a square footage and you had to do areas there. But I did one end of my garden because my garden was so long. I did 2 different areas of my garden and did 2 separate tests, but you did like 4 or so many scoops from each space and then you mixed it.
That's right. And honestly, if you want a really true soil test, you want to dig down about at least 6 inches.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you're putting stuff on top. And so that's not giving you a true idea of what your soil is.
Didn't it come with a tool though? I'm sorry, Sandy. Monica, didn't it come with a tool? Didn't they send us that tool that we had to dig all the way down to a level?
Yeah, there was different things in it. So it was very specific too. It was very clear and instruction, what you had to do. It was like you had to dig to a certain depth. It was very easy. It didn't make it overwhelming. It was like, and you want to dig from this area, this area, this area, and then mix the soil into the one container. But you also don't open that container until you're ready to put the soil in. You seal it and then you put it in the bag and send it off. And
but anymore they recommend to 10 to 12 holes.
Okay.
You just put it all in a bucket.
Yeah.
Mix it all up. And usually they want about 2 cups.
Okay.
So your container probably was about 2 cups that you guys sent in. Because what it does is it really gives you a true picture of your soil. Now, if your soil's wet, you need to let it dry some before you mix it. You can mix it, but then you want it to dry some. Right. And then when you send it in, you could tell them information like, this is my vegetable garden. I'm having some issues with a certain plant.
Yeah.
Or I want to grow pumpkins in this area that I'm giving you the soil sample for. And that way they will look at more specific things than just a generic, okay, this is what a computer printout is. But the more information you give them, the more that they can help you. I rarely use a fertilizer that's NKP, that gives me blah, blah, blah. I would rather have compost. I'd rather have worm castings. I like the idea of chop and drop, so that you're not literally not taking the stuff out of your garden. You're just letting it decompose right in there. And everything that it took out of the soil is going back in the soil.
Yeah.
Even with weeds. I mean, if there's weed seeds, I don't want those to stay in my garden. But if it's just the plant, I'll chop them, and just let them decompose, because I think it really helps, because a lot of those weeds have such long roots. And so it's pulling lots of nutrients out of the soil. So put it right back in.
Yeah.
Now I have a compost. I have two big bins. They're 4x4, and we just dump stuff in there and return it. I have one that's a crank. And if I'm diligent, in about 6 weeks, I'll have compost. I mean, I got to make sure it stays at the right moisture. I have to turn it every single day, but it is a great thing. And then I have, this is compost from a countertop composter. And I do like it.
Is that the Vigo Garden one?
Well, it's like that one, but it's a different company.
Nice.
And I mean, you just throw all kinds of things in there. And I usually chop it up pretty good, but I mean, sometimes I've been busy and I've put just the whole banana peel in with all the other stuff, and it just breaks it down, Now with that, I just sprinkle on top of the soil. A lot of people want to till in their compost or whatever they're putting on top, but I think it's better, and maybe you guys can say your opinion on this, is I like to just put it down and then just let the rain and the water just percolate all that goodness down in there. Yeah. What do you guys do do you till yours in, or do you just put it on top?
Cayce's not tilling nothing.
Well, no. When I was in ground at the old farm, I was all about tilling. And I did that every year. Right before the spring, we put out what we had on there, and we tilled it into the soil that was there. It was hot. It was sweaty. It was nasty. Now, I'm at a new homestead, and I'm building these raised beds like from ground zero. So I did like a lasagna kind of effect of topsoil, because topsoil has like zero nutrients, like nothing. It's like a double cheeseburger at McDonald's. Okay, it's literally filled, there ain't nothing. But I had like the black cow manure, because listen, out in this area, let me tell you, and I'm in the country, it is hard to find the company that will deliver the truckloads of compost to your house, which is what I want. I just want you to dump a mountain of it, and I will do the rest of the work. I'm still looking, but I prefer, when I get good compost, like what I know is good compost, to leave it on the top and let it drain into, as you said, percolate into the soil. But I've only had one time where I've had really good compost that I knew was good compost, and that was at the old farm, and it was my personal compost. So I guess my opinion's kind of one-sided because I've only done it once. But Monica, what about you?
Well, I have a question. Are you going to start composting now that you're at your space?
I have a compost pile. It's on one of my videos that I kind of laughed, because you know me, I'm real bougie. Anybody that knows me, that's followed me, knows that I'm bougie. And I would have preferred to have my wood pallet set up so I had a compost area ready. But right now it's a pile because I haven't gotten pallets yet. So it's a pile of watermelon rinds, chicken poop, grass clippings, coffee grinds, eggshells.
Love it.
That's what it is. It looks cray. But yes, I am starting my own compost.
Okay, good.
But I would like to have some compost delivered, just because it's easy. And do y'all know how much compost, soil and stuff it takes to actually fill up? Even, I think mine is 14 inches of a bed. They're not big.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of
Yeah.
soil to build those up, a lot.
Yeah.
Which is why people do the oh god,
Cougar culture. Yeah, that's it. So for me, I mean, Sandi, usually I think that's what we do is we, like for instance, with the rabbit poop, that's the one that we use cold a lot. Eric uses it. I don't use it in my garden as much. Sometimes I do, but for me, oh, that's a good idea. We put the rabbit poop right around the base of our trees, like right around the base of the trees.
Mhm.
And then he just waters it in, just lets it water, let Nate. And then in my garden, you had said something about the chop and drop. So see, I do listen years ago. And that actually I have had, because of my back and some of the things I'm dealing with, I've had to weed whack like grass, like beautiful, gorgeous Bermuda grass out of my garden this year. And I have literally just weed whacked it. And one of my kids was like, "Are you going to pick that up?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And I weed whacked everything. I'm weed whacking weeds and everything. None of them have come to seed. So I'm not weed whacking the seed heads or anything like that. I'm just weed whacking everything around my plants and I let it drop. Now there's too much grown up now, so I can't weed whack anymore. But I'm a firm believer that those weeds and some of the extra grass and that bulk that's around my plants have really helped retain the moisture, because Texas is getting ugly, y'all. And we haven't hit a lot of 100-degree days yet. We've actually only gotten one here that I've registered on my clock, on my thing. But I was just talking to Eric this morning, and the more the soil dries out, because we had a very moist spring, the faster our soil dries out everywhere, the faster we're going to hit those 100-degree days. So I'm going to put shade cloth up. But I really, truly believe that the reason why my garden is still holding strong right now is because I have allowed those thick areas of grass that's been growing. I've just weed whacked it right above, like right this far, and then just let it sit. And I actually shoved it kind of in the aisle so it would kind of stay around the base of those plants and just decompose, because that's the best way I know how to fertilize these guys right now, because of the heat's coming.
Yeah. And Monica, with all those kids of yours, in fact, somebody asked how many kids you had at home.
I have 6 kids at home still.
Send them out into the garden and just let them stomp down any of that grass around your plants.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there are people that have the boards and the rope and you just lean those grasses down and you're holding that moisture. Plus then it's all going to decompose.
Yeah. That's what I was doing before I started weed whacking. I was going out there and Eric was laughing at me. He's like, "All you're doing is inviting chiggers and ticks." And I'm like, "I ain't got no chiggers and ticks out here yet. Leave me alone." And I was just taking my boot and I would take my leg and swipe it over and stomp it down. Swipe it over and stomp it down.
Yeah.
It seemed to work for a little bit.
Yeah. There's just so many things that we don't realize can be your compost and your, to feed your soil and feed your plants. And we just think, oh, you have to have this big bin. You got to turn it. You got to do all this stuff. Nobody wants to have to turn a compost pile. I mean, there's fast composting and there's slow composting. So like what Monica does, and Eric just leaves it for a year or whatever. That's just slow composting. Everything's going to decompose, you know. It's just faster if you can turn it, every so often and, add some water. I think it was Tamara that posted that wanted to know if her dehydrated banana peels and powdered eggshells were good and would help. And it is. It was probably 3 years ago, the Vineyard Chicks had a guy on there and he was like this fertilizer guru. And so I'm sure you can find him on their channel. And he talked about all these little things you could do, like in mason jars, half-gallon mason jars, putting all your banana peels in there, put some brown sugar in there, add water, and just let it basically ferment. And then you can just strain it off and you add more water to it, and you can just pour it around your plants, and man, are they happy with it.
Well, I think that's something that Aunt's talked about before, right? Do you remember what she does? I think she does. She calls her like
fish emulsion.
No, she doesn't do fish though. I think she does like vegetable peels. It's all of her like vegetable and fruit scraps and all her scraps. and she's like some sort of vegetable. I just imagine it's like this big V8 fermented brew. And she said it doesn't smell good, but she just makes her, like a compost tea, like, just kind of lets it sit. But I mean, that's the best stuff. Now, Sandi, I have a question for you. So, because I know you're going to say something too. I use, and I think this is better. Maybe it's not, maybe it is, but I use water caught from like water catchment water. And my water catchment water, my tubs, my like big, big totes that I have, they usually have a little bit of funk on the inside, like that green stuff that just be growing, all the algae. Yeah. Because but it doesn't look beautiful. But we pump that from those bins several times during the year into my water buckets, and then I hand water. And I always tell my kids that water is better, because my kids are like, this water is gunky. And I'm like, this water is better for my plants than that hose water. And they're like, is it though? Am I lying to my kids?
No, it is better.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's let all the microbes and all the bacteria start to grow.
Yeah, it definitely has tadpoles and skeeters in it. P.S. It definitely has all the things. And it's usually got like empty, like old, like beetles that died, all the big like spiders that couldn't get out. That's fine. That's all good juices. Yeah. But
it's just decomposing all that stuff in there.
But it's something though, right? Is she freezing?
I think she froze. Huh?
Okay.
Oh, am I back?
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Okay. Sorry.
Good. But it is good. Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah. And I mean, city water has a certain amount of chlorine, and people are like, don't use the city water, but I read a book from a scientist, and he was talking all about garden stuff and things to use, not to use. And he says, really, rain that's coming through that hose is minimal.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I will say that I listened to you, Monica, when I was at the last house I was at. I bought black plastic trash cans for rain catchment. Now, I didn't do a garden last year, but we had flowers and herbs. And I will say that I did notice that water, because I was real lazy, I did like you. I scooped her out and I've watered it with that because I don't want to walk to go turn the hose on, then wrap the hose back up, and a lot. So dip, pour, and they seem to do better than when I watered by the hose, even at the garden. Now, maybe not vegetable wise, but I think that the rain collected was a yummy water source for it.
Will that be considered like a fertilized water, like a fertilizer infused water?
Well, it's got microbes and bacterias in it.
Okay, so it's got good stuff in it.
Yeah, it's got good stuff in it.
Okay, we'll just say that then.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else can we do? What else can we do, Sandi? Like, I mean, if you think about it, you said chop and drop, right? Some people said fish fertilizer. If you soil test your soil.
There's fish fertilizer and there's fish emulsion, and those are two different things.
Really?
Yeah. And
okay,
so
what's the difference?
You need it so that it literally has fish parts in it, not fish emulsion. Some fish emulsions go through this heat process, and it basically kills all the good stuff in there. Okay. So you just got to read the label.
So you want the fish parts.
Yeah, it's a different slow process that they do, and you can read the bottle and you'll be able to tell.
Okay. Well, I heard before, Eric said that he had heard that if you take a fish head, you stick it in underneath your plants, it's going to work too.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe we can see it. Have you ever heard you take an egg and you crack an egg and throw the shell and the egg in there, and then you plant your tomatoes? Is that real?
The eggshell part is not real.
But the actual egg?
Well, because it's going to decompose and it'll give some kind of nutrients. If you want eggshells in your garden, you got to basically pulverize them.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to break down.
Okay.
I like eggshells on top because slugs don't like it.
Oh, okay.
They don't like the sharp edges. So if you got a problem, you can put that around there.
Okay. Banana water.
Oh, yeah.
Again. Banana water. Yeah. So Penny said the only things I use are cow and horse manure with banana water or fish fertilizer. I make it in 5-gallon buckets.
Now I'll say, because I do get the cow manure. I like, because you said rabbit manure before, and rabbit manure, I do know this, so I will spew it out like I know what I'm talking about, is the only compost that you truly can put from the butt to your garden, because it's a cold manure. Like you can't go and get pig manure and put it straight on your plants because it will burn the plants. But the rabbit manure, am I wrong?
No, but it's not the only one.
Yeah, I was going to say there might be other ones.
Out of cow and horse and even chicken.
Yeah. But like a llama or alpaca,
That's cold manure too.
Yeah, I mean, any of those things that make those little tiny pellets, that's
like
basically.
Goats?
I don't know about goats,
Oh.
but they do make the little pellets though, don't they?
Yeah, just like deer. It's like deer and goats. They all look like little pellets.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want no deer poop on my garden because I already see they've been eating my peppers right now. So we're about to have deer burgers, not deer poop.
Yeah. If you know somebody that's got alpaca or llamas, and you get their poo early in the spring, it's good. If you get it later when they're eating weed seeds, it doesn't. When it goes through its digestive system, you got weed seeds in your garden.
That's right. That's true too, because in our compost, because the compost doesn't get really turned a lot. It gets chickens will go in there and they'll turn it over for us, which is really nice because they'll get in there, and especially if we're putting stuff in there like scraps, they'll come in there and just kind of push through it. So that's really what happens with that. But I do know that there have been times where we've put compost in there and I've seen like a cow put patty and I'm like, this is not composted. There's a cow poop in here. And I'm not kidding you. In that same area, I will get a rogue pumpkin, because they almost always have pumpkin seeds in their stuff because we feed them so many pumpkins in December and October and all that. And I right now have a rogue pumpkin growing in one of my areas of the garden. And I was like, you know what? That cow manure stuck around a little heavy. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, that makes sense too about thinking about cows.
Is this true? Mouse poop? Now
moose poop, not mouse.
Moose.
Do you know how many mice you would need, Cayce?
I literally was going to ask. I'm like, where are we buying mouse poop?
A whole army of mice.
Well,
yeah, but you would never use mice poop because they have bacteria and toxins, and so you'd never. Well, even if you could collect it.
I cleared out an army of mouse poop under my cabinet, so
I will say it's a little taboo to use pig manure as well. We don't scoop out our pig manure. We don't put pig manure in our compost because pigs eat meat. We feed them like, old chicken, steak. We don't feed them pigs. We don't feed them pork. Some people do, but we'll feed them steak. We'll feed them, we'll feed them beef and chicken. So we don't put that in there. Now, I will say though, in years past, we have used our pigs to turn our entire soil over in the garden. They've come in there, and where have they pooped? We've just left it. We're like, I'm not going to go in there and scoop the poop out like they're dogs. And I will say that it was they came into my garden in the November, December time after we had pulled out all of our stuff. I didn't grow anything. They were in there December and to January. And I think January they came out of my garden. And so from January, February, March, April, probably March or April, I started making sure things were turned over and planted. And I want to say that 2 of those years that they did that, I probably had the best garden. They really broke up a lot of what was in there. Like their noses would dig all those roots up. Yeah. And we just left their poop and it got turned into it. We put compost down as well. It got turned in there, and we didn't feed them regular stuff when they were in there. We didn't feed them like the meats and stuff. We let them eat as much as we could scrap wise that way. So maybe that's why it turned out so well and it wasn't as tab. But I have heard people be like, absolutely not. But I'm not going to get in there and clean up their poop. Just to be honest, I'm going to be real honest with you. Yeah. But we had a good turnout that year. And it was, those years we had a really good garden. So, but typically you don't use pig poop in gardens or.
No, not usually. Some people will use, they'll let them go through the fields, and even cornfields sometimes, and because they'll just root up all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic that way.
Yeah. Now, have you guys ever, like, say you had some compost? Have you ever put it in a bag, put the bag in a bucket or a big tub, and then put an aerator in there and let it bubble? Because that will make some great liquid fertilizer, liquid compost tea, and it's much faster and it just makes those microbes and everything just go crazy in there.
How long do you let it like ferment?
About 7 days.
See, we tried that with rabbit poop. So we did that. We actually had rabbit manure that we put in like a bag thing, and we like let it sit in the water, and then we strained it with a window, like oh my gosh, window screen. Thank you. A window. We strained all that gunk with a window screen, and then we put it into like all the water, the liquid. We put it into like one of those spray nozzles on the back of the trailer, on the back of the tractor or whatever, and we sprayed it into the pasture one year. And it worked great until the thing got clogged. It kept getting clogged because we didn't strain it great enough. But now that I think about it, I wonder if I put it in like an old pillowcase.
Yeah, that's what I usually do, is I put in some kind of cloth or mesh.
That would be even better, because then I wouldn't have to worry about straining it. I could just squeeze it out. Because, but we didn't let it sit very long.
Yeah, well, usually if I have an aerator, it's about 7 days.
Okay.
And I always put like a mesh or a cloth over top of it. One, because I don't want any mosquitoes laying in there or any bugs or flies getting in there. And then I'll just dump it out. But I do dilute it if it's going right into my garden. If it's just going around trees, I think trees are a little stronger, and I don't think it needs, the rabbit manure would need to be diluted.
Cayce, your face is like, I don't know about the tea.
No, let me tell you, only because I can just like smell as I'm sitting here making the fish tea, and how you smell afterwards. Now, let me tell you, I was gifted like a half of a gallon, big black trash bags. I don't even know what size gallons those are, but you know what I'm talking about, of rabbit manure from a friend's farm. And I used what I was going to use when I planted, but I'm like, I may need to ferment a little bit of that rabbit poop that's been sitting there now for a couple weeks in that bag.
All that's doing is drying out right now in that bag. That's all it's doing, is drying out.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm down for the gross. I mean, I definitely don't wear gloves when I'm planting, and my thing that I like to do is I like a handful of rabbit poop in the hole before I put, especially my tomato plants, into the ground. I plant it with a handful of rabbit poop. So I know what I'm digging my hands into. It's just that smell gets to me. It's that smell. I mean, I can not wear a mask, chicken coops all day, but you stand me right beside a bucket of like the fish tea. That's the whole time.
Rabbit poop dries out really well, though, I will say, and it sits really nice. It does decompose really quickly too if it's moist and wet. Like my entire, like the barn stall where the rabbits are right now, it hasn't been cleaned this year. When I say cleaned, I mean like we haven't deep cleaned everything. They scoop it out every like couple months or whatever. But with the winter time, we didn't really clean it much, and so I was like walking in there the other day and everything is dry. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Everything is very dry. And I'm walking in there and it's literally crumbled. It looks like just a probably this thick layer of dirt. It looks like dirt. I reached my hand down and picked it up, and it smells like dirt. Doesn't smell like poop. It smells like dirt in the main area, not under cages, but in the main area, because all that was underneath cages had been kicked out by the chickens and the ducks that go in there, and they kick it out into the center. And so in the center, it's all completely composted just from sitting. And I'm like, I want all this right now. but Eric will take the stuff right underneath the actual pens, and he puts it around the trees. So you still see the little pellets, and that stuff just turns into powder, but it's like a nice thick powder once the water hits it. It's beautiful. Yeah. But I mean, like I literally dug my hand into the other day and I was like, okay, smells like dirt. I mean, it doesn't smell like poop at all. And I was like, I was low key really proud of myself for not being like, y'all need to get in here and get this cleaned up. I was like, it smells stinky in here, but I want this middle stuff right here.
I want the stuff in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just dirt.
Yeah. Joe Salazar has some good videos because they have this system with the rabbits and the chickens and the ducks go in there. And he just has a lot of information on how good that works, and so it's something to check out. Monica probably has some videos of that too.
I don't have a lot of videos of of the rabbits because no one likes rabbit videos on our channel. So Eric has only made a few videos of rabbits on our channel. And because they don't get a lot of like traction, he's like, I'm not putting up rabbit videos when nobody watches them. And I'm like, well, so we've got a couple rabbit videos, mostly of processing them. And I always have a few on my channel where I'm like, look at the rabbits, they're so cute. But yeah, I mean, rabbit fertilizer has been a really big help for us. I think that's really helped his trees, like all the trees we planted in the past. It's really been a huge help for just keeping them vibrant and growing well. Okay, so if you're testing your NPK, it shouldn't be hard. I don't know why it's hard, but you test your NPK and you test all of it. Okay, Sandy. And I get my test back and it says I need more phosphorus.
Mm-hmm.
What is the P? What is the phosphorus? What am I putting in my garden to increase my phosphorus?
Bone meal. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's what he was saying, bone meal. What happens if I'm a vegan and I only grow vegetables, but I need more phosphorus in my garden?
Oh.
You're in the wrong profession.
If you're a vegan, we're really sorry, but you should eat some meat. No.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot, and my brain is not telling me other things that I could use for that.
I'm like kind of proud of myself.
Sorry.
Okay. So let's just say bone meal. You can still buy it at the store, even if you don't have your own bones or whatever. You still buy bone meal.
I have all that stuff on the Amazon too. So
okay. So then let's just say you're low in potassium. I'm not just taking everybody knows bananas have potassium, but you can't just take a banana and go layer it around your trees and around your plants. How am I going to get potassium?
Yeah, you could.
Well, it would take forever though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that'll help 3 years from now, but what am I getting for potassium that can help right now?
Well, see, that's why you can take those banana peels and ferment them in water.
Right.
Okay.
Because it only takes a certain amount of time. And if you like, I like to buy all these. I have a little grocery store here, and they have what they call red banded bananas. It means that they're starting to get little spots on them.
You can make bread out of them. Yeah.
I'm guessing yes.
I think so, yes. She's coming back in a second. I know it.
Oh.
So, lime. Oh, there you are.
Am I back?
You're back. You were telling us about the red banded bananas because I was interested.
They're always cheaper. So I just buy a bundle of them. I put the bananas in the freezer so I can have banana bread or whatever I'm making with bananas. And then just take a crock or a big jar, fill that all up, put some brown sugar and some water, just let it ferment. If you put a bubbler in there, it's ready in about 7 days.
What happens if you don't have a bubbler?
Well,
just crack the lid.
They cost a few dollars for a bubbler,
Can you crack the lid or put it like a coffee filter on it?
Yeah. Well, you want to have some kind of cloth or something on top.
Okay.
But all you have to do is there's natural yeast in the air, right? Always. So just take your spoon and 2 or 3 times a day, just whirl it around there so that it's pulling air inside there and it's pulling yeast in there, and it will ferment faster.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there are fertilizer that if say you need K, you get, like Cayce likes 10, 10, 10, but there's 2, 10, 4. There's all these different ones you can get that if this is what you need,
you can get
that's the most. Yeah.
Okay. So that's important.
I will say just because I know that some people probably will rewatching me like, Cayce just likes a 10-10-10. I like a 10-10-10 to start.
Okay.
And then going forward, it's depending on what I want. If I want greener plants, then I'm going to do more of a nitrogen. If I want more fruit, like right now I know right now my garden is way too new and it's gonna suck this year. I already know it's gonna suck, and it is. So next year, if I want more of the flowers, which turn into fruit, then I'm wanting a P or a K. Yeah, correct, Sandi? Because I've read different things that K gives you more flowers, or that K helps it against disease. What's the true? What's the true? What is the true here tonight?
This is one of those things that you're going to see on Instagram. I'm not kidding. This is one of those quick Instagram videos you're going to see. It's going to be like, do you want more leaves? Are you having a lot of leaves on your tomatoes this year, but you don't have no fruit? That's because you're low in blah, blah, blah. You should give it this instead. So we're here to bust that up. Sandi, tell us the truth.
Well, a lot of it, let's say you had too many leaves, you're not having any fruit, you're growing your potatoes. They're beautiful. It's not that you might need more K or P. It's you have too much nitrogen. It's not necessarily that you have to add more things. You have to say, okay, I'm not putting nitrogen in my soil this year.
Got it.
Okay. Because all the time you have these potatoes and then you've got little tiny potatoes and nothing but leaves on top. Mm-hmm. Your other trick with potatoes, 4th of July, you want to cut those potatoes completely in half, those plants completely in half. So the energy is coming to the potatoes. Now, will they grow some more? They will, of course. But you don't need a 3-foot plant of leaves.
Yeah.
Cut it in half around the 4th of July.
Okay, so it's not necessarily that you don't have enough of something. It's that you have too much of something else.
Right. And so soil test. We're going back to the soil test.
Okay.
Because you can't just guess what's in your soil.
Right.
Now, when you're a gardener for a long time, you can kind of judge, okay, these are doing this, this, this. But sometimes it's the amount of moisture that year, the heat, the temperature of the soil. There's just a lot of factors. So if you can just take one of those factors out of the equation because you did a soil test, then you can look at the other things.
And that makes sense. Okay. So Jersey Dolphin said, serious question for Sandi. Miss Sandi, back in the day, I would grow my own weed. And I would grow my own. I would use topsoil mixed with bat poop. And it worked great. Fabulous buds. However, my question would be, is bat poop better? Would it be better?
Actually, guana, that's bat poop. Mm-hmm. You pay a premium for that, and it is an excellent compost fertilizer. It's very strong and powerful, so you need less than what you use of other things. But literally, when one town over for us, they were raising money. They were trying to redo this old building. Well, the bats had got in there. And they literally auctioned off and sold bags of bat poo for a great price. But it's expensive. But it is a good fertilizer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. At night, they're eating all of these mosquitoes and all these bugs,
right.
Yeah. And so their poo is just high in goodness.
Well, I think I've realized too, I think some people have like, when you have your ducks, so some ducks will eat a lot of things, but Muscovy ducks in particular eat bugs. And at nighttime, you can see them like creeping across my yard, just eating bugs like crazy.
Yeah.
And I have let my baby Muscovies into my garden before. And I thought, oh my gosh, they're going to be pooping everywhere. But then I was like, you know what? That's okay, because they're basically eating all these critters and bugs, and the poop is probably filled with all the good stuff that they're eating anyway. So I'm not really worried about it too much. And I've never had any kind of like burn or anything crazy. but yeah, I mean, they're eating all those bugs and all the mosquitoes and all the critters. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, and your ducks, they're going through the garden. It's not like, a chicken run, it gets very concentrated.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so hot. But if
Yeah.
they're just wandering through areas, it's not concentrated like that. And so it's totally fine.
Yeah. Well, we do let Elijah's little bantams run in my garden sometimes and scratch up stuff. And they really enjoy that. And it's never been a problem either. So that makes more sense why it's not a problem, because it's not like they're just there. They're there and they're all over and then they're not. They go out and then they come in and they visit. It's like a playground for them. Every now and then they'll come in and eat all the bugs that I don't want. And then they come and they leave. So, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Nanny Tam says, glad she doesn't wear makeup, with knowing that bat is makeup. Right. Okay, so another person said that lime is phosphorus too. Did you see that? Lime?
Yeah, but lime depends on if your soil is acidy or if it's alkaline. Like I have alkaline soil. My pH is high. So I would not put lime in there. Okay. I would put gypsum in, but I wouldn't put lime, where people that have more acidy soil usually put lime in, because it can build up just like nitrogen can build up. So you have to be careful.
So you have to know whether your soil is acidic or not, which is, again, another reason why you want to get a good soil test. And so you could go with a company like we went with. Go ahead, say.
I was going to say, to the soil tests and what to put in there. I do remember, and again, if you click our QR code, which is over there, I think the My Soil stuff is still in our link tree with our discount code. But when you get your results back, there was a lot of clickable links. Say, if you're low in this, try adding this to your compost or adding this to your soil. And I thought that was very helpful. Because being a newer gardener, you look at a soil test result and you get kind of like kind of moment, because you're like, okay, well, now what do I do? So it's good to know, because as Sandy's saying, like, you're hearing her say certain things, you're like, oh God, I didn't even think about the acidity of my soil, or I didn't think about doing this. And that's why a good soil test is so important, because it will test your soil, and some of them will give you suggestions of what you should do to bring that soil back up to glory.
And you can use your local ag extension. They usually offer soil testing as well. And it may not be as expensive as like the My Soil, but they may not offer you as much advice or help or feedback as the My Soil. So, weigh those things out. And if it's only going to be like, if it's $25 at my, feed store to tap into the local ag extension and get through my local ag extension, because I'll do it at my feed store. If it's going to cost me $25 or $20 and I can pay an extra $5 or $10 to go to My Soil, when I know they have the whole website that I can pull up at any point and reference back, I'm going to do that 9 times out of 10, because I'd rather pay a little bit extra money to get the extra help, because that's where my brain's at. Wayne Smith says the trick is to wear gloves when catching the bat, and then hold him over your garden, Sandy. Just so you know. That's what you do. You give him a little squeeze, make it come out a little faster. Anyway, and Jesse said he's not a fan of testing. He always fails. So, hey, Sue, Mrs. Dallas is here. She also said she's glad she doesn't wear makeup either. And Casey, Jersey Dolphin said, please don't ever handle lime with your bare hands. He's allergic to lime. It eats through his skin like salt does to ice. So we don't do that.
And I was just trying to pull up My Soil test. It used to be $25. It is now $31.99.
Yeah, it was $29.99, I think, when we did it.
And
so it's actually not.
That's with a little tester thing. But go to our QR code, y'all, and all that information is there.
It's so good.
We really enjoyed it. I really wish that Sandy would have been with our podcast back then, so we could get like a real profesh.
Get her opinion
on My Soil. We may even have our peeps reach back out to My Soil and send us some again to try and see.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so I got it good now. I have it in my notes. 2 to 3 years. Sandy said, you heard it here. 2 to 3 years, sister soil.
Okay, so really quick, while Cayce is getting ready to queue up our wheel and stuff because we need to do all that. Sandi, how do you feel about using Epsom salt or baking soda and borax around your plants?
Well, there's really a lot of mixed reviews, especially with Epsom salt. There are people that put Epsom salt in the whole of their tomatoes. They swear by it. I wouldn't mind people doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Making an Epsom salt spray as a foil, a spray for your leaves. The thing that can happen with Epsom salt is it can coat on the leaves, and then it can be detrimental to the leaves. So you have to be careful. I have used baking soda before. Sometimes people call and say, hey, my plants, I'm growing them to go into the garden. They're growing seedlings, and they're all of a sudden having issues. And I have sometimes recommended just a little bit of baking soda on the soil, water it in, and it has made a difference. Same with borax. You just have to be careful with all those things. It's not a cure-all to everything. If you use it slightly, it's okay.
I don't think I knew about the baking soda, but I don't think I've ever heard about using borax. So
yeah, me neither.
Yeah. And Nanny Tam wants to know about adding peroxide to your water. I have done that many, many times.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how much do you add? Like a little capful or like?
Yeah. Say you got a.
Oh no.
Oh no! This is when the good information was.
Wait, say it again. Say it again, Sandi. I want to hear it. She says, "Ooh."
Oh, am I back?
Oh, now you're back. Okay, wait. You just as soon as you were getting ready to say it, and I was like, "This is good information. I need this."
Sorry, I have a new internet down in my shop, and I just got it yesterday, so there's some.
That's okay. That's okay. Tell us what you were going to say though.
Do a capful in like a quart of water.
Okay.
Put it on your plant. See how it reacts. I think it's. There's a lot of recipes out there, but I think you should start slow on any plant that you're trying to help.
Yeah.
And make sure that, okay, for this plant, say this pepper, it's okay to use this, because plants are different, soils are different. Yeah. And so you're better off doing a little bit at a time than put in a fourth of a cup in a quart of water, and then it kills your plants.
How would you know if your roots of your veggies needed more oxygen?
Well, the roots of your vegetables, it's all about your soil and knowing your soil. Is it just a new garden and you've never? Test will tell you a lot of things, and you're a crazy woman when it comes to soil tests.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna have to soil test.
The moral of the story of today's episode has been get a soil test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know your soil, whether it's new, it's old, it's been there for a couple of years. Get it tested. Get it tested. And if you are watching it, come back and leave a comment in this. Be like, hey, Cayce, Monica, Sandi, I got a soil test. This is what it says. And maybe one of us will reach back out and tell you how to fix it. When I say we, I mean the royal we, which is Sandi.
Yeah.
But I'll thumbs up it. I'll thumbs up the comment all day.
Yeah, I'll thumbs up all day too. You got my vote.
But no, I'm definitely going to be doing that, and I'm definitely going to be looking into that, especially since I'm starting a new soil garden bed. So this has been exciting, and I've learned. I came into this episode like I know what I'm talking about, and I've learned a lot, and I hope you did as well. So now, y'all, we only got 2 more weeks before the big week of winning prizes, so we only have 2 topics left: supplemental feed for your animals and saving seed from your garden, which are both really good topics, I think.
Yeah.
So Monica, you get to count it down tonight.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, do it. Seed
See,
saving.
that's one of Sandy's favorites. And let me tell you, I've learned a lot from Sandy on
Yes.
because if
I've
you
learned a
look
lot
at
from
her,
her over the years.
she has her
Yay,
own.
yay.
So
This is awesome. Oh, I'm excited. So, okay. So that means if you guys want to learn more about seed saving, if you have any questions about seed saving, if you want tips, tricks, all of it, come back next week and we're going to talk to you about seed saving and all the things that you can do. But I think right now we are about to spin because each week we give away a $10 Amazon gift card when you, for one person that's going to put in the special thing right here in the chat. And you're going to be able to enter to win the $10 gift card tonight. Now, one person is going to win a gift card tonight, and then 2 more names are going to be drawn. And those names are going to go along with the first person. You're going to go into a big pot, like a big compost pot. And at the last week of our weeks of boot camp, we are going to do a big giveaway with all kinds of fun prizes that have basically related to all the boot camp weeks. I mean, we've got incubator, we've got seeds, we got all kinds of fun stuff. So
yeah, a
stick
lot.
around, keep coming back, and don't forget to take those notes because you can click that QR code anytime and go get that 99 cents downloadable thing, and you can just put all your notes there. Boom.
And BTW, we also have a $50 gift card that's being given away.
Yeah.
Gonna be given away in a few weeks too. Okay, so write compost. It doesn't have to be in all caps. I think you can just write compost in there.
Yeah.
And you can do it in any of our channels. If you're on any of our channels right now, you can do that. You can go to the hay bale or you can do it on any of our channels. And again, you can always jump in there and get your hay bale prepper guide and get that and fill in all those blanks for each week. And if you've missed any of our weeks, you can go and find the playlist on the hay bale channel with all of this in a playlist, right, Cayce?
Yes, it's all in there. It is all in there. You can rewatch. Plus, if you're really like feeling you some hay bale folks and you want to listen back, we do have 7 seasons of podcast episodes. We'll talk about all of this. I mean, even Sandi was not a full-time host at the very beginning. She was in every single season.
Yep.
She was the host that was there every single year. So go back, watch it all while you're doing this.
There you go. Yeah, and it's good because there's a lot of good information there too. There's a lot of really good information. So sounds like I need to get busy and build an outside compost bin, says Prairie Mountain Homestead. That's true, Rita. Get yourself a compost. But there's a lot of people that use those composts on the countertops. My mother-in-law used to have a little countertop compost bin. She had a little thing on the countertop, just like Sandi. You have a countertop compost, and then you can throw it out there and use it on your plants. I think that's great. So
and you could put this in a bag and put it in a 5-gallon bucket, little aerator, and it would just make great compost tea.
I love that.
Okay,
so write compost in there. What's the magic number tonight, Cayce? What are we looking for?
I think you should count it down now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are we done? Got everybody in there? 21 entries. Anybody else? Last chance. Type in the word compost. You could win a $10 gift card right now if your name is drawn. All right, we're going to count it down. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Do it. And don't forget the thumbs up. Thank you, Ginger. You're so sweet.
We love you, Ginger.
Let's see. Cynthia DeLon. Congratulations. All the way from the Netherlands. Now, I believe she can still get that gift card, correct?
Right, because the Amazon can send it over there. It's my turn to do it, so I just need that email from Cynthia.
So, Cynthia, if you could make sure you just email us at roundthehaybale at gmail.com. Boom.
Let me just tell, because I was looking back at my notes, and Cynthia actually won last week too. You are lucky, girl. So she got her. Yes, it is.
And she said, please give it to someone else.
Oh, that's so nice of her.
You're so sweet. But we want to bless you.
Yeah, but keep her in the drawing, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
She will be our second drawing for the number.
Okay.
So we'll do more. Here we go.
Can draw again. Okay. So is this person going to get the gift card then?
This person will get the gift card.
This person will get the gift card then. Okay. Aurora Knight 3779. I love that. Congratulations, Aurora. Okay, so you need to send us an email. Send us an email with your email address. Thank you so much, Cynthia. roundthehaybale@gmail.com, and we will send you the $10 Amazon gift card that Cynthia so graciously gave to you. That was so sweet. And don't forget, Cynthia's name is still in the drawing, the big pot. So is Aurora's. And we're going to draw one more time, right, Cayce? And this other one will go in the big pot for the big winning, all the different things at the very end of the season.
Stuff.
Yeah. That is so sweet. I just love that. Dude, yo, where's my car? It all adds up. It's Lori.
It's Lori.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Your name is going to go back into that pot, Lori. It's going to go right in there, and it's going to be adding up as we're, adding names to it. Oh my gosh.
Now, let me just say, because Ann talked about this on one of our episodes, that we're still on the big giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do a random word $10 gift card giveaway. So if you don't win in the next 2 weeks and get your name in there, you still have a chance to win. So check it out, because we'll still have that. But I'm just going to read you the weeks that we have so far, because we have 9 weeks of names that are in there. So hopefully you're in here and you hear your name. So from our very first week, we had Rebecca, Touched by Yarn, Not for Nothing Homestead Ginger, and Tamara Melling, 885. And then on our second week, we have Nerge, we have Radine, and we have Dude, Where's My Car? Lori. Third week, we had Tamara Melling, 885. DS Garden Adventures, Diana. And this one, TRTTSL. Exciting. Fourth week, Jennifer Ocean's Homestead, Cynthia Delot, and Mindbogger FZLDU.
Nice.
Fifth week, Landbander, Jennifer Ocean's Homestead, and Arctic Cat 7142.
Love it.
3, 4, 5. Let's see. 6. Dude, Where's My Car? Lori. Cheryl 9720. And Jersey Dolphin. Then we have the 2 weeks that we had reruns, and that was Fun Thrall D9E. And week 2 that we went on a rerun was Landbander again.
Nice.
Week 8 was Cynthia Delot, Make or Break TW, and Desert Goats.
Nice.
Tonight, the winner is Aurora Knight. And remember to email us at this email right here. Immediately following this, go and get it. Go and send us an email. Cynthia Delot and Dude, Where's My Car? Lori. So lots of good into it.
You never know, Miss Dallas. You never know. You never know. You might win.
So before we go, we like to end all of our good job. Thank you. I appreciate you. I've done good, and I've kept this paper close to my heart, close to my ear. Speaking of close to my heart, let's do some wonderful moment with Monica, because that always brightens us up for the day to get our week started. So, a moment with Monica.
Okay, so I had this thing and I wanted to share with you because we're talking about our soil. And so I'm going to do things a little differently tonight, but I'm still going to touch on this. So we talk about how we want to make sure our soil is good. And this is a theme all throughout the Bible. And in both 2 different places, Ezekiel 17:8 says, it was planted in good soil beside abundant water so that it would produce branches and bear fruit and become a splendid vine. And in Matthew 13:8, the Lord talks about how the different seeds were falling in different places. And it said, but others fell on good soil and yielded a crop, some 100, some 60, and some 30 times as much. And how the seeds hit good soil and grow in abundance. And so I want to encourage you this week to put good soil, put good things inside of yourself and inside of your brain and inside of your mind and your heart so that you can grow and have abundance and grow in abundant love, grow in abundant kindness, and grow in abundance to bless other people. And based on that, I want to just touch on really quick before we leave. I would love to pray for Miss Ann and Mr. Worth, because Miss Ann is such an example of good soil. She is not doing any of this without the Lord. And her and Worth are setting such an example that when you have a good foundation, when you have good fertilized by God soil, you're going to show everyone the fruits of what God can do in your life. So right now, if you would just bow your heads and pray with me really quick. Lord God, we thank you so much for Miss Ann. We thank you for being a friend. She is such a friend to so many of us. And thank you that we got to know her. Thank you that through her, we can just meet Worth just a little bit. And Lord, thank you for the opportunity for us to see what is not only like to live a life worthy of you, but Lord, just to live a life, but to be able to have that journey home. Because so many people in this world show us how to live, but Lord, not many people show us how to die with you. And so we thank you for Worth, and we thank you for Ann. We thank you for the goodness and the kindness that they're showing us. And we thank you more than anything for the love of Jesus that they are just throwing out and radiating to everyone. Lord, we ask you to be with them tonight, be with them in the next few days, give them strength, comfort, love, courage, boldness, and just continue to fill them up with your love. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week.
Wonderful, Monica. That is
I just let one more week go by without actually praying. All of us. And when all of us pray, just the abundance right there. It just has to work. So God's hands are in all of it. So anyway, y'all go out and have a great week.
Yes.
Feed your soil. Get your soil tested tonight. Check up on yourself and do a health checkup and put good things in your body, because it's gonna be amazing. So have a good week, guys. See you next week. Bye.
Ann and Cayce, Monica and Sandi, gather round and let's start this grand plan. Can some pickles, cook up some stew, with friends by our side, nothing we can't do. Garden beds ready for planting sunflowers, and tomatoes growing strong and